Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, July 14th, and I am back, hopefully on a regular schedule, to continue Craft with Lucy. Today, we're going to do something, a brand new kit, since we have just started a brand new idea book. It's called Summer Vibes. And we're going to do the cards first, and I'm going to start with card 1 today. So Summer Vibes are these adorable cards right here, and it's all about summer and staying cool and all the things. And each of these kits creates 16 cards for each of 4 designs. And everything you need in the kit is included except for the adhesive, a couple of the ink pads, which if you don't have these, you can kind of see what's in your stash, or you can get the ones that we need for this specifically, which is Smoothie and Intense Black. And the reason we're using Intense Black is because we're going to be doing some watercolor. And so that's why we're using that instead of a regular black ink pad. Go ahead and let me know below where you're watching from in the country, and tell me if it's hot where you are, because I'm in Southern California and it has been hot. So thankful for air conditioning. So let me know what's been going on over there, and what are you doing to stay cool? This card, Stay Cool, means eating some watermelon, but that may not be what you're doing, so let me know what you're doing to stay cool. When I'm at home working, we actually have the AC on as much as possible. So, all right, so Summer Vibes Card Making Workshop comes with paper pack, comes with this really neat exclusive stamp set and thin cut set, and you can only get this set with the workshop. But what's really great about our workshops is you have consumables, meaning ones that you use up, supplies you use up, and then you have ones that are going to stay where you can continue using. And with this particular kit, you are going to have this stamp set and thin cut set that you're going to be able to use forever and ever for different projects. We also have a full bag of acrylic shapes. All of these are what's left over after I make all 16 cards. So you're going to have a lot of shapes to play with, and you can color with those and do all kinds of things. And the thin cuts are these right here. And as you can see, what's really great about this particular set, every single image has a thin cut, which means no fussy cutting, guys. How fun is that? No fussy cutting. So basically you use your cutting machine like a Cricut, a Sizzix, or whatever it is you use for your die cuts, and everything gets cut out here. Today we're going to use the Stay Cool stamp, the watermelon, and then we're going to add some what are these, acrylic hearts. So let's get started here. So speaking of watermelon, first of all, do you even like watermelon? Post below. I actually love watermelon, but it has to be cool, and quite frankly, I don't like cutting it, so I want someone else to cut it for me. How bad is that? The paper we're using for this set is called Summer Vibes, and it's got some great, really bright and vibrant colors, and our pattern paper is always two-sided, which is really great, so you have options. For this particular card, our instructions, which are so great that come with this because they tell you how to cut everything, so you have extra paper, and then they tell you how to put everything together. And what's nice about these cutting guides is if you like the way the card is laid out, you can use this cutting guide with your own paper and create cards that are similar in terms of design. So Summer Vibes, on this side we have this really cool paper that's got watermelon and palm leaves and ice cream, sunglasses, sandals, oranges, flip-flops. The other side of this particular paper is this really pretty wavy paper, and that's the side we're going to use for our card. And our card we're actually going to do a vertical. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that on there first. So I'm just going to use our Tombow multi-mono liquid glue. Why it says multi and mono, I don't know, since that seems like it's contradicts itself, but I'm sure there's a reason. When you're using this kind of liquid glue, what's really nice is you don't have to go to the very, very edge. Because it's liquid, it'll smoosh out, and smoosh is a technical term. It'll smoosh out to the edge, And so that way you don't have to worry about making sure the adhesive gets there. So I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, hey, Lauren, nice to see you. Oh, you just had a piece of watermelon. That's really funny. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Now, sometimes when we cut, even with a good cutter, the paper is a little, might be a little big. So I'm just going to trim the edge here because I had a little bit of a carryover. But I would rather have too much paper hanging over rather than not enough, right? So it's just a little bit of a trim we're going to do here. So that's that. Our next piece is this smoothie, and our cardstock is two-tone, so it's got a light and a dark side. And then we have this white that's going to go right on top of here with the sentiment. Now, when you look at this card, this looks actually like it's printed paper, but we learn how to do random stamping here as well as second generation stamping to make the pattern, because sometimes you're just not going to have everything you need or a paper background that you really need, so you can create your own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stamp, I'm going to open up the smoothie ink pad, and I just have a practice paper right here, as you can see. So all I'm going to do is ink this up, stamp off, stamp on, right? Stamp off, stamp on, and just because I can see where it's going. And what that's going to do is just create this pattern on the white paper that goes with the card, right? So if you ever have any kind of a patterned stamp that you maybe not have used as much because you're not sure what to do with it, or this really works good with word stamps or sentiment stamps that you can stamp at different angles on your paper for scrapbooking, for a card base, for the back of a paper that you're using. And it's just a great way to get another use out of your stamp. And what's nice about this particular one is, as you can see, I'm going pretty quick. Normally I would probably go a little slower, but because this image is such a scattershot, right, it's just really just little pieces here or there. It really doesn't matter if I go over the other one of it, you know, because you're going to have some darker, you're going to have some lighter. So it really doesn't matter if I stamp over. Again, if it was words specifically, you probably want to go a little slower, be a little more particular. But for this particular one, as you can see, I mean, look at that. Isn't that cool? So I've got my own little background. I'm going to go ahead and lid that up because inevitably I leave an ink pad open and drop something on top of it. Always a good time. So here we go. This is the light side. Here's the dark. So I'm just going to go and adhere this to the dark side. So let me just go ahead again, put my adhesive on here. What kind of adhesive do you like to use? Do you like to use liquid? Do you like to use a tape runner? And is there a particular kind you like to use? Do you like to use a glue stick? Let me know by commenting below what it is that you use. But I'm just going to line this up. I'm going to eyeball it right here. And just put that down right there. Now, when I follow the directions, what's really nice is if you're a direction follower and you want to make this card exactly the way it is here, it'll tell you in the directions not only how to stamp, what colors, but also when you're placing your elements on your card, it'll actually tell you, all right, for this element, which is this one here, you're going to come down a ½ inch and you're going to come in ½ inch. So that makes it really easy. It takes all the guesswork out of putting your card together. Now, you don't have to follow those directions, but if you want to and you're trying to make a quick card, it's a really easy way of doing it. No stress, no extra thinking, right? So that's the beauty of our kits. We have all the information, all the documentation you need, all the instructions, and you can either take it or leave it. So I'm going to use my board here for ½ inch. So you can see right here, there's a half. And if I line this up, okay, so there's a ½ inch and there's a ½ inch. So I'm just going to go right about there. Does it have to be perfect? Nope. Right? Does it have to be straight? Well, probably as close as you can, right? But who's measuring? All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this down. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could grab your ruler, you know, and kind of check and see. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. All right, it's my demo card. And let's see, next up in this card is, let's see if it's this right here. And this is actually the zip strip from the top of the paper. So you can see on one side it has text on it, and it usually says the name of the paper pack and any coordinating colors. Well, the other side is a pattern. Sometimes it's words. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. Now this is a little wet because I dropped it in the bowl over there with some water, but that's okay, it'll dry. And go ahead and take that zip strip and just place it here on the edge. And I cut it the same length as this here, which when you look at the directions at the beginning of this, it is, it's a 3 by 1/2 inch, so this will be 3. So that means this is 3, and it's 3 by 4 inches. And then the piece inside is, I can tell you in 1 second, the piece inside, well, you know, I'm really not sure what it is. Let's see how I did this. This is why you do, when you do live, you should be a little more prepared apparently. So 1C. Oh, so this is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. So 3 3/4 by 2 3/4 for the white. So 3 by 4 for the smoothie. So that's why that matches up. And the next thing we're going to do is stamp our slices of watermelon. And we're going to use intense black ink for that. And one of the reasons we're going to use intense black ink is because we're going to do some watercoloring today. And so with the intense black ink, it'll make it so it's smear proof. And if you are interested in learning the differences between pigment ink, water-based ink, intense black, archival, comment ink below, and I can send you a quick little tip sheet that tells you the differences between the inks and what you would use them for. So I'm going to go ahead and take the black ink here and take the watermelon. And again, remember, because our stamps are see-through and our blocks are see-through, this should be relatively easy to line up my image. And if I want to make sure that I get a full clear image, I'm going to go ahead and bring out my little foam ink, foam pad here from the stamp set. I'm just going to line it up, look straight through, go straight down, pick it up. Even if it's off a little bit, I always have the other side, and or I can trim it. Part of the problem is the camera, I can't look right over because the camera's right there. So let's see, there we go, that one's much better. So I'm going to just flip this over. So that's the beauty of double-sided white paper and an image that will work on either side. Let's see if I got that. There we go, much better. So I'm going to go ahead and use the black, intense black ink for that. Now that I've done this, I want to watercolor my image. So we have our watercolor set, and as you can see, mine are numbered. So I just numbered 1 through 4 across all the way down. And that helps me when I'm trying to blend colors to make a certain color, if I'm trying to match colors, if I create a card or a project and later want to come back and do the same thing again, or get that same blend of color. So if I mark it, it's a lot easier to follow. So for this particular one, for that kind of reddish pink for the watermelon, it looks like I used 13 and 15. So 13 and 15. So it's 4 down, first and third. So I'm going to just flip this open and get out my watercolor brush. And let's see here. Get some water out. So I don't know. Do you like watercoloring? Did you know that this month is watercolor month? It is. It's watercolor month. So I'm going to take 13 and 15. Kind of mix them up. I can even use the tray over here if I want. And then all I'm going to do is carefully just paint. And if there's too much water, I'm just going to use a little more ink. And even over here, get some of that out of the way. And let's see here. Oops, that just fell in there. How fun is that? Oh my goodness. I'll get that heart out of here. Well, I'll get it out of here in a second. All right, let me see here. So I'm just going to paint this in. So comment below if you like to watercolor. And do you like to do watercolor painting? Do you like to use watercolor pencils? Whatever your favorite is to do. And as you can see, as you're doing this, the more you go over the same, the darker it'll get. And it's okay if they don't match, right? Because watermelon has different tones and colors, right? So I'm just going to mix these up a little bit again. And here we go. Just paint that in. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And honestly, with the shading that you need to do, it's okay if it goes light to dark, dark to light. Like I said, watermelon has different shades. So let me just, there we go. So you can see one is going to be a little darker than the other. And then you'll see that in the shading, just get this right to the edge, I kind of went dark to light going up. And again, you know, personal preference in terms of what you want to do. I'll go ahead and try to get this red off now. Okay, and then for the green rind right there, it looks like I used number 30, which is the one right down here. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up a little bit. And then I'm just going to go down really carefully here and just try as closely as I can to get the rind. And if you have too much water in the middle there, it's going to dry up, but I can start using the other sides of the little pod right there to kind of get more color. So let me just do this here. There we go. And so you go over it a little more, it gets a little darker. And again, is there any correct way to do this? Not really. In terms of the coloring, it's whatever color you want it to be. I mean, watermelon changes, right, depending on the kind of watermelon that you have. And so let's see here. I'm going to just do the outside of this one. And we're almost done. And we're just going to keep, whoops. I should have used some washi tape. It's a little harder to do when I can't look directly over it, and I can't because of the camera right here, so I can't put my head over this because who wants to look at the back of my head while I'm coloring? All right, let's see if I can get some of this off real quickly here. And you know what? Even if I can't, you know what I'm going to do? Since I kind of goobered that a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and just put it all the way through here and make it look like I meant to. And that was just part of the watermelon. Wrong or right, right? Doesn't really matter. Okay, so there we go. There's that. So again, I just used 13 and 15 for the actual watermelon piece, and then 30 for the rind. Alrighty, so I've got that. Then I've got this Stay Cool sentiment that I'm going to put in. Let me get this out of the way here. I got a little watercolor on my table. So I'm going to take the Stay Cool. I'm going to ink this up. Now, normally I would not have adhered this. Let me get this out of the way so you can actually see it. Normally, I wouldn't have put where I'm stamping my sentiment glued to the card already, because if I make a mistake, it's going to make it difficult to fix. But for this particular one, it's fairly simple. I don't have to be too precise in my location, so it's okay as long as I don't drop it. And let's just, you know, live here. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Hopefully I won't. I'm just going to stamp straight down. Don't rock it. Remember, don't rock that block, because if you have any ink on any parts of it, it'll get on your paper. Lift straight up, and there it is. Stay Cool. What I really like about that image is the way it's kind of got that shading of that block, so it looks like it's layered. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I have, oh, that's right, one of my hearts got stuck in here, didn't it? So there are 3 heart sizes that we're going to include. There we go. Got it? On this card, and I'm going to wait to put the watermelon on there a little bit because it's still drying, but it's drying pretty quick because it's so warm here in San Diego. I'm going to grab some of our glue dots. So that's what you can use to glue these down. You can also use liquid glass if you have liquid glass, but I'm going to go ahead and take a glue dot, put it on the back here. I'm going to put it right up here towards the top. And then I've got 2 other ones I'm going to use. So again, just using these, and these are our micro glue dots. And I'm going to put one here. And I've got one more here. And again, I try to stick kind of close to the design in the card kit. You don't have to. Sometimes I mix it up. This one I actually thought was kind of cute the way it is, so I'm leaving it that way. Then for the watermelon, I don't know if you can tell here, but I lifted it up with 3D foam tape. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some of our 3D foam tape. We actually have it in a roll of tape as well as dots. I'm going to use dots just because it's a little easier for this. I don't have to worry too much about placement, so I'm just going to pop that on there. As you can see, these are just about dry. Pop that on there, and then just peel that off. Easier said than done, isn't it? You think with nails. There we go. All right. So, oh, I see, this is the really wet one, that's why. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one there. Take this off. Put this one kind of over it a little bit, just like that. Now, this one is dried a little more, so what I added, the directions didn't say this, but this is how you make it your own. I actually took our clear shimmer brush, and as you can see here, let's see here if you can see there's a little bit of a shine there. I liked it. This is very muted, and so I wanted it to have a little extra something. So I just took the clear shimmer brush and put it right over the rind of the watermelon. I'm not sorry, not the rind, the actual watermelon itself, just to give it a little shimmer, just a little bit of extra. And the brush will pick up some of the color, which is nice too. So I'm going to take a little off to the side here. And so this is card number 1. And there are 4 designs in this card kit, and you'll make 4 cards of each. And this one, it says, stay cool. So, oh, one thing I do want to remind you or tell you about is on Tuesday, August 11th, we're going to be doing a virtual event with the Close to My Heart company on their Facebook business page on August 11th, 1 o'clock Pacific time, where they're going to put together all the cards. So if you buy this card kit and you want to have some company putting it together, and maybe you're not local to me, or you want to kind of do it with a large group, or you want to have a tutorial live, you'll join that on the Close to My Heart Facebook page. Mark yourself as going, even if you can't make the whole thing or only part of it. 2 things will happen. 1, that means you'll get tagged in it, so you'll see you'll be able to find the videos to make these. And 2, you get entered into their giveaways, and they always do a lot of giveaways. They're so generous with their time. And so, definitely sign up for that. If you need the link, comment below and I'll get that to you. And again, if you'd like a tip sheet on the differences between the different inks, between something like intense black ink, which is solvent-based, ink that is water-based versus pigment-based, comment inks below and I'll get that out to you. If you don't have a consultant, I would love to be your consultant and help you out and get you any of the crafty products that you want. Also, if you love our products and you want a forever discount, like a 40% off Michael's coupon or Hobby Lobby, you can only get those sporadically. Hey, Adele. But with the being a consultant, you always get a coupon and you can get everything at a discount. So thanks so much for popping by on this Tuesday. I love when you guys come by and comment. Sometimes you send private messages and those are fun too. If you have any questions about this kit, let me know. I will be doing more of the kit throughout this month since we are having our live event in August. Thanks so much for stopping by. Oh, hey, Sharon. Have a fabulous, fabulous Tuesday. Stay cool and see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.